This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, students fight back over tree cull. There's a slumber party in the Octagon. And the undead will be running after, or is it for, the living. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Craig Story. The removal of about 50 trees from the University of Otago campus is sparking outrage. Almost $8 million has been spent on a new campus landscaping plan, and the lack of public consultation on the project has one student fighting back.
The university's multi-million-dollar landscaping project has just started, but already it's drawing criticism, with one student concerned about the 50-odd trees set to be removed as part of the plan.
For me, the trees are part of the landscape of the university, and people love walking amongst the trees, and so I am opposing any further removal of any trees of any sort anywhere on the campus.
Taurua Macready is upset the university didn't consult students or the wider public about the landscape project, and she hopes to rally others in opposing parts of the $7.8 million plan to ensure the environmental impact is minimised.
We have tuis, kereroo, all other manner of bird life who gather on these trees, and to have these trees taken away and replaced by nothing in particular, I think is absolutely despicable.
University staff weren't available for an on-camera interview today, but they've issued a statement saying arborists were consulted about all the trees on the chopping block. They say of the 50-something to be removed, some are getting old and others don't fit in with the new design. But Taurua Macready is urging university management to reconsider.
Please leave our trees alone. Please leave them where they are. They've been there for a long, long time, and they're part of the campus. To destroy them is it just makes me cringe.
The project's due to be completed by the end of next year, and while staff say there's little chance the plans will be changed, they're happy to meet with opposing parties to allay concerns. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
A section of Logan Park has been sold by the City Council pending public feedback. The council plans to sell just over half a hectare to Otago Polytechnic, which will likely use it to develop student accommodation. The section fronts Union Street East beside the existing bowling green and includes former club rooms currently leased to the Polytechnic. It's now mostly used for car parking. Ngāi Tahu was going to buy the land and develop accommodation for Polytechnic students, but it pulled out of negotiations late last year. Now the council's asking for public feedback on its plan to sell to the Polytechnic. Submissions close in a month's time. A sleep out under the stars is generating thousands of dollars for the Dunedin night shelter. Tertiary students have slumbered in the street to help the shelter buy its rental premises. And organisers say that shows just how big Scarfie's hearts really are.
Ready to rough it, students prepare their sleeping arrangements as they face a night on the street. They're raising money and awareness for the Dunedin night shelter and highlighting the difficulties facing the city's homeless population.
In a lot of communities, homelessness often isn't seen and therefore a little bit out of mind. So we want to, raise awareness around an issue that is otherwise invisible.
Although the final total hasn't been worked out yet, Lau estimates close to $10,000 has been raised for the shelter. She says everyone's blown away by the support, and it proves Scarfies truly care about their community.
A lot of our students aren't from Dunedin, but they call Dunedin home for 3 to 5 years, so they love this opportunity to get involved.
Lau says up to 200 people took part in the sleep out, with the vast majority of them students. they filled the octagon with countless cardboard shelters and heard speeches from a range of prominent locals. It all combined to make a one-of-a-kind experience.
Being in an anti-bullying group, I think it's really important to help out other people, and also because I do realise that a lot of people don't have a place to go, unlike me, and I think being part of this really shows other people that this is a really bad situation for most people in Dunedin.
The night did have its lows, however, with a donation bucket containing about $200 stolen. Lau says that hasn't put a damper on spirits, and one generous local gifted money to make up for what was lost. Now it's hoped the combined effort will push the night shelter closer to its goal of home ownership. David DeLorean, 39 Dunedin News.
2 hit-and-run incidents are being investigated by police as the victims recover. A 17-year-old needed leg surgery after being hit by a car and dragged down George Street early yesterday. Police are pursuing a nominated suspect in relation to the incident and have confiscated the vehicle involved. In Mosgiel, a 5-year-old was injured when hit by a car about midday on Saturday. The boy was outside his home when struck by the silver car and suffered a broken ankle. Police say the driver has been described as being a stocky, middle-aged, balding male. A zombie-themed fun run is boosting a free counselling service for children. The event's raised about $2,000 as well as public awareness for Chatbus, and it's got heartbeats racing amongst the living and the undead.
Warming up for a spine-chilling run, but not because of winter. About 140 people don costumes for the annual Chatbus Zombie Apocalypse, a 5-kilometre obstacle course in which runners dodge the undead.
Each runner wears a belt with some tags on it, and the idea is that the zombies try to steal the tags. And the tags act as lives, so the runners have to try and get to the end of the race with at least one tag to say they survived.
The Mornington race was centred around the Zingari Richmond rugby grounds, and Pierre says participants on both sides enjoyed the challenge.
We've had a wonderful time. Everybody seemed really happy. Good feedback from the runners, and the zombies have had a ball chasing the runners.
It's the second Chatbus zombie run following last year's inaugural event at Ross Creek. That was a sellout success involving 300 runners and raising $8,000. This year's much smaller turnout is slightly disappointing for Pierce, but she says the proceeds will be put to good use, and she's happy the event's increased public awareness about Chatbus services.
We have 3 little buses. Each bus has a trained counsellor in it, and we work through primary and intermediate schools. So this year we're in 16 schools in Dunedin.
And that's up from just 3 schools in 2008. But Pierce says the free counselling is for any local children under the age of 14, not just those on the visiting list.
Even ones who are in schools where Chatbus isn't there yet, we try to accommodate them by making appointment times that they can come to the schools where we are.
She hopes one day to have enough resources to cover all primary and intermediate schools in the city to help young locals find their feet and tread their own path. Rosie Mannins, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News. In-depth questions about our electricity consumption, and we'll take a look at tomorrow's weather.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
Discover New Zealand's most innovative museum, Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. 14 stunning galleries, 3 distinct architectural styles, and 1 million intriguing stories are yours to discover at Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. Open daily next to Dunedin Railway Station and with free admission. Toitu Otago Settlers Museum,
128 tracks, dynamic automation, dual faders, and totally digital. This is state-of-the-art music production. The SSL Digital Console. You'll find one in the BBC studios in London, another at CBS studios in New York, and now one at the University of Otago. It's a good reason why our sound now sounds even better. My name is Maddie Parkins Craig, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
For 30 years, Southern Clams have harvested New Zealand littleneck clams in the coastal waters of Otago. Hand harvesting to order at the right place and time ensures perfection of every clam you eat. New Zealand littleneck clams, harvested for you by Southern Clams.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's Oat Singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's Oat Singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
Welcome back. A lengthy pay dispute is over for local Anglican family care staff. They've battled to get a pay rise since last year, and negotiations with management, aided by union members, have finally come to a close. Staff went through the Employment Relations Authority to strike a living wage deal, and there are under 50 local staff, mostly women. Many were suspended by management around Christmas as a result of the pay dispute, and Anglican Family Care is a child and family support service. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financials. Well, it's a slow day with the NZSX and the ASX, and triple-digit returns negatives for the Dow Jones, the FTSE and the Nikkei, 5 days in a row now in negatives. Small rises across the currencies which we monitor, the USD and the Australian, small rises there. The yen and the pound making small gains. It's the euro which we have to keep an eye on. Several things we must be aware of there. The manner in which energy is being consumed throughout the city is currently being studied by the University of Otago. Cleanne Gabriel has been tasked with assessing the efficiency of Dunedin's energy use, and she joins us to discuss this. Very good evening, Cleanne. This is fascinating, fascinating stuff.
Yes, it is.
How we consume energy.
Yes.
Why have you been tasked with this? What's your motivation?
Well, the thing is, back in March of this year, there was a conversation that occurred between members of the Chamber of Commerce, particularly the Energy Committee, and the Centre for Sustainability at the University of Otago. And what they wanted to know was, how can we get an assessment of the basic energy use or to quantify basic energy use in Dunedin.
Okay, a survey of what we actually
of what we're actually doing with energy to quantify it.
And this hasn't been done before?
No, it hasn't been done in New Zealand before that we know of.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, so you're breaking ground here.
Yes.
How are you doing this?
Well, the thing is, what we're looking at is how much energy is coming in. So I'm going around speaking to a number of the energy stakeholders in Dunedin to find out how much fuels are being supplied to Dunedin, how much electricity is supplied. And it's interesting because we're finding very innovative ways of getting that data.
And how are you getting that data in particular? Asking questions?
Yeah, just asking questions, so how many tons of wood do you normally supply to Dunedin in an average year? That kind of thing.
What sort of challenges, particularly? Like Dunedin's a very friendly place. Questions are easily answered.
Yes.
Anything particularly challenging about this?
Well, this is a particularly commercially sensitive space because a lot of the companies and stakeholders of energy are quite, they hold that data quite close. So it's a challenge to sort of manage those sort of commercial interests as well as the interests of sustainability for Dunedin.
No one's shut the door on you, no one's refused?
Not yet, not yet. Okay. But no one major.
This is going to be exhaustive. How long do you think you're going to be spending on this?
It's not completely exhaustive. This is it's an energy baseline study, which is sort of meant to be this initial first stage towards what is called a larger urban metabolism study. That's where we sort of look at sort of the deep, hard data and get more detail. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you hope to understand at the end of this? What's the burning question?
Well, the burning question is how sustainably is Dunedin using its energy? And the way to know that is by quantifying how much is coming in and then how much we're using and how quickly we're using it, which is also important. And that will give us a sort of a sense of the efficiency, and that's why it's called a metabolism study. If you compare to a human body and we talk about metabolism, how quickly we use the resources.
Is our infrastructure efficient enough for the volume of energy going in as to what's being utilised, to how it's distributed? Distribution is a big thing.
Yes, distribution is quite important.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you imagine the results of this will be utilised? Will we see a shifting in how we use energy because of what you're doing? Well,
I suppose the end goal is, in the long term, to have, there's the euphoria of thinking that we will have a completely sustainable system. But at the end of this particular project, I think what we're hoping to see is an understanding. Okay. What does the system look like in Dunedin?
Right.
And we have managed to quantify it, and then we can take the next steps from there. But it, again, is just that first step, just brings us that little bit closer.
I've got to wind this up, but I could talk with you for ages about this. Is there anything unusual or alarming that you've observed so far about Dunedin's local energy consumption?
Nothing quite unusual. I mean, we have found that, in particular, about almost 70% of the fuels comes from oil.
Right.
But that's not particularly unusual given the state of the world globally in terms of using oil products for energy.
Claire and Daniels, thank you so very much. It's fascinating talking with you. I wish you the very best with all of your studies.
Thank
you. Many open doors to you.
Oh, thanks very much. We need it.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, it has been an imperfect year for rugby, but champions all the same. And we look closely at the weather for the coming week.
Do you want support for your breathing? You are not alone. In New Zealand, over 600,000 people have some form of breathing difficulty, especially with the high pollen season in New Zealand. Puff Plus is an excellent natural product developed to support lung function and breathing difficulties. Puff Plus is so effective, you get a no questions asked money-back guarantee on the first purchase. Give it a go, you have nothing to lose. Call now, 0800 502 402. Take as directed. If symptoms persist, see your healthcare professional.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. For more information, visit our website spcaotago.org.nz and give one of our adult animals a second chance at life.
Yeah, we're heading down George Street, down B, tip of the hat to the people we meet on Southern Sky. Play. place in the world.
Moving around the corner, overseas, Best Removals Otago Limited, specialists in household removals and business relocations, as well as packing materials, secure storage. Best Removals can do it all. 0800 266 834.
Quality Tailors, the alterations specialists, adjusting alterations made to measure. Quality Tailors, sitting Dunedin for over 15 years. Call 477 8028 162 Princess Street, one shop down from Darling Street.
Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams.
Big Orange, for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Welcome back. It's been 5 long years, but University A is once again at the top of Premier Rugby. The varsity side deflected the defending champions Tyree 31 points to 15 in Saturday's final. And despite imperfect seasons, the captains of both teams say it's been a fantastic year.
The much-coveted Spates Challenge Shield has changed hands, with the University A Premiers celebrating a convincing final win over Tyree. And Captain Sam Sturgis says despite some glitches through the season, players' self-confidence is behind their newfound status.
We didn't start very well, had a very good start to the year, but we hung in there and learnt more systems and structure and did more analysis, and finally all strung it together. And we talked before the game that if we were ever down and out, we knew we got self-belief, and we've done it before, so let's do it again, yeah.
It's the team's first ultimate win since 2010. Revenge for the pummelling Tyree dished out in last year's final. But the battle was tough as the Eels put up a strong fight in the first 40 minutes, scoring 10 points in an effort to match University A's 17 at half-time. And as the game wore on, Tyree lost momentum, as captain Charlie O'Connell explained after the final whistle.
I think varsity just made the most of their opportunities. They played a lot more rugby than what we played, and as a result managed to come out with more points and therefore won the game.
He says the side's defence was tested as University gained momentum with a couple of quick tries, and from there Tyree's struggle got harder. But overall O'Connell's happy with a great season.
We take a lot out of the season, success getting to the final in the first place, and there were a lot of individual achievements throughout the year, and we're really happy about how the team performed. Just disappointed we couldn't get the result today and top it all off.
About 3,000 fans helped spur the teams on at Forsyth Bar Stadium. And now the season's over, Sturgis says it's time to celebrate.
At the end of the day, I think the boys just dug deep and grafted away, and we did what we want to do, and we've got the result, and it's going to be a big couple of days.
Now players on all teams are looking forward to rest and relaxation before training begins again next year. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. About 50 trees are being removed from the University of Otago campus as part of a landscaping project which is drawing criticism. Scarfies have raised close to $10,000 for the Dunedin night shelter by sleeping out under the stars in the Octagon. And a zombie fun run in Mornington has raised about $2,000 for Chat Bus, so more children can receive free counselling. And now let's have a look at what's in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Bruce Query, what's going on in the world in the ODT?
Good evening, Craig. Well, we've got more on the Dunedin courthouse controversy, and we'll be answering the question about just how safe for earthquakes is the temporary courthouse compared with the old one.
There are questions raised.
Yes. And in other news, what happened to a mum and her 6-year-old son with his little bike when they tried to board an empty bus?
This is a different story to the mum who tried to get onto the bus with her pram, a parallel story.
Well, it is a different story. Another issue is concerning buses and passengers.
Oh, gosh.
Over in Queenstown Airport, $67,000 in fines has been handed out for tourists bringing in fruit and other just apples. That's just apples alone.
It's just apples alone.
$400 for an apple.
What's that number again, Bruce?
$67,000 in total for the year.
Goodness.
And in our Signal TV guide, that's our weekly issue, a free guide to TV's listings. Plus in our travel section, we go cruising around Tahiti in a 5-star luxury yacht.
Fantastic. Bruce, what's your perfect holiday destination?
Oh, anywhere where I can find a decent trout.
Jolly good, Bruce. Thank you so very much. And time now to have a look at our weather.
Proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Puff Plus.
And around the central city today, we have 13 degrees out at the Gardies, beautiful 13, and on the beautiful Taieri, it's 14 degrees. Looking at the situation now, a trough of low pressure covers the country, bringing a cooler southwesterly airstream, and another cooler front is expected later in the week. Prepare for that. To the forecast. And for the main South Island centres for tomorrow, Invercargill sou'westers, showers and 9. Same for Gore, showers and 9. Te Anau sou'westers, showers and 9. Alexandra, increasing sou'westers, late showers for you, a high of 11 degrees. Queenstown, fresh sou'westers and 9. That's also for you too, Oamaru. Wanaka, increasing sou'westers, late showers and 11. And Twizel, increasing showers, sou'westers and 11 degrees. Here in Dunedin. Tonight, fine, an overnight low of 6 degrees, and tomorrow and for Wednesday, late showers, cold sou'westers freshening, a high of 10, a low of 4, and on Wednesday, morning showers, sunny periods and sou'westers easing, a high of 11 and a low of 6. And finally, to the Southern Clams tidal and fishing information. Low tide is 7:27 a.m, high tide 1:06 p.m. Fishing is fair at best at 9:26 a.m. Go fishing or go to work, that's up to you. And that is all from the good men and women of Channel 39 Dunedin News. I'm Craig Story. Thank you so very much. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks, and now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest, and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. This cannot wait. I'm yours. Ooh, yeah. Well, open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and then you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love love, love, love.
Welcome to Southern Attractions. Over the next half hour, we'll take you on a virtual tour of the historic city of Dunedin and its magnificent wild landscapes. We'll introduce you to many of the features that make this place so welcoming to visitors. And we hope the show will help you decide how to enjoy our city's many attractions and inform you more about Dunedin and Otago. At 46 degrees south, about halfway between the equator and the South Pole, sits Dunedin, also known as the Edinburgh of the South, or colloquially as Dunners, and the Maori name is Ōtepoti. It's the second largest city in the South Island of New Zealand and the principal city of the Otago region. It's considered to be one of the 4 main urban centres of New Zealand for historic, cultural and geographic reasons. The Dunedin urban area lies on